The discovery of tobacco by Europeans in the late 15th century was a transformative event with far-reaching consequences. Tobacco, a plant native to the Americas, was introduced to European society following the expeditions of Christopher Columbus and other explorers. Upon reaching the Americas, Columbus and his crew encountered indigenous peoples who were using tobacco in various forms. The Arawaks of the Caribbean, for example, were observed smoking tobacco through a rolled leaf called a tobacco, a practice that would later evolve into the cigar. Rodrigo de Jerez, a member of Columbus's crew, is often credited as the first European to smoke tobacco. He witnessed the indigenous peoples of Cuba inhaling smoke from burning leaves and decided to try it himself. Upon returning to Spain, Jerez introduced the practice of smoking tobacco, which quickly gained popularity. The spread of tobacco in Europe began with its introduction to Spain and Portugal. By the early 16th century, tobacco seeds were brought back to Europe, where the plant was cultivated for both medicinal and recreational purposes. Initially, tobacco was primarily used for its purported medicinal properties. European doctors and botanists believed that tobacco could cure a variety of ailments, from headaches to digestive issues. Jean Nicot, the French ambassador to Portugal, played a crucial role in popularizing tobacco in France. In 1560, Nicot sent tobacco seeds to the French court, where the plant was named Nicotiana in his honor. The term nicotine, the addictive component of tobacco, is derived from his name. By the late 16th century, tobacco had spread throughout Europe, reaching England, Italy, and other countries. The plant's versatility and the allure of its supposed health benefits contributed to its rapid adoption. The introduction of tobacco to Europe had immediate and profound effects on various aspects of society, including medicine, economy, culture, and social behavior. Initially, tobacco was heralded as a miracle cure. European physicians and scholars published numerous treatises extolling its medicinal virtues. For instance, John Frampton's Joyful News Out of the Newfound World, 1577, described tobacco as a panacea that could cure everything from toothaches to bad breath. However, the medicinal use of tobacco was based on misconceptions. The belief in its curative properties led to widespread use, but without a true understanding of its effects. Over time, as more people used tobacco, its addictive nature and potential health risks became apparent. Despite this, the belief in its medicinal benefits persisted for centuries, contributing to its continued use. The economic impact of tobacco was significant and multifaceted. The cultivation and trade of tobacco quickly became a lucrative industry. European colonists in the Americas, particularly in regions like Virginia, established large tobacco plantations. The demand for tobacco in Europe fueled the growth of these plantations and contributed to the development of the transatlantic trade. Tobacco became a valuable commodity, often referred to as brown gold. Its profitability encouraged European powers to expand their colonial territories and invest in the cultivation of tobacco. The economic benefits of the tobacco trade also had a darker side, as it contributed to the expansion of the Atlantic slave trade. Enslaved Africans were brought to the Americas to work on tobacco plantations, leading to significant social and ethical ramifications. The introduction of tobacco brought about notable cultural and social changes in European society. Smoking became a popular pastime among the aristocracy and common people alike. The act of smoking, whether through pipes, cigars, or eventually cigarettes, became a social activity that transcended class boundaries. Tobacco also influenced fashion and etiquette. Smoking rooms and designated areas for tobacco use became common in European homes and public spaces. The production of smoking paraphernalia, such as ornate pipes and snuff boxes, became a thriving industry. These items were often seen as status symbols, reflecting the social importance of tobacco. Literature and art of the period also reflected the growing popularity of tobacco. Writers and poets frequently mentioned smoking in their works, and artists depicted scenes of tobacco use in their paintings. This cultural integration of tobacco further cemented its place in European society. Despite its widespread popularity, tobacco use soon raised health and social concerns. The addictive nature of tobacco became evident as more people began using it regularly. Additionally, some early observers noted the potential health risks associated with smoking. King James I of England, for example, published a counterblast to tobacco in 1604, condemning the use of tobacco and highlighting its negative effects on health and morality. However, these warnings did little to curb the enthusiasm for tobacco. The immediate gratification and social acceptance of smoking outweighed concerns about its long-term health consequences. It wasn't until much later, with advances in medical science, that the true health risks of tobacco use became widely recognized. The rapid spread of tobacco also elicited legislative and moral reactions from authorities. Various European leaders and religious figures expressed concern over the potential negative impact of tobacco on public health and morality. Some countries implemented regulations to control the use and sale of tobacco. In Russia, Tsar Michael I banned tobacco in 1634, with severe penalties for those who violated the law. Similarly, the Ottoman Sultan Murad prohibited smoking, deeming it a threat to public order. Despite these efforts, the bans were often ineffective and tobacco use continued to spread. The discovery of tobacco by Europeans and its subsequent introduction to European society had immediate and profound effects. From its initial perception as a medicinal marvel to its widespread recreational use, tobacco quickly became an integral part of European life. Its economic significance fueled colonial expansion and the transatlantic trade, while its cultural impact reshaped social norms and practices. However, the immediate enthusiasm for tobacco was tempered by growing awareness of its addictive nature and potential health risks. Despite early warnings, the popularity of tobacco persisted, setting the stage for future public health challenges. The legacy of tobacco's introduction to Europe is a complex interplay of economic, cultural, and social factors that continue to influence society to this day.